All right. We are here. Can y'all hear me? I hope we can hear everybody. Ladies, are you there?
I'm here. Hey.
Awesome. Yes, we have several people in our group. Before we get started, y'all better say something like good afternoon. I was telling everyone, hey, see, look, Quita's in. Girl, I see you. Hello. I was telling them, y'all, I said, y'all make sure y'all tag the people in the group. They eating chicken wings or something because they're not up in this room, but they're going to start showing up. But we thank God for you sharing. Come on, before we get started, we want to welcome all of you. So I want you to say hello so we can give you a shout out. I see Mary's in the house.
Yes.
Great to you. I know you guys are going to be tremendously blessed by our guests on today. Let me add my sister, Sherelle. Give us one moment, y'all. Y'all know I'm not going to leave Rel out there. Let me go ahead on and add her in our stream. Then I got to do a little shift in the actual flow, but that's no problem because, you know, I'm got to get a little tech savvy, you know. Where you at, Rel?
Oh, my camera.
All right, let me make sure I put it correctly, y'all. Hold on, because I'm supposed to be just putting it on this little format here, okay? Let me get on our 4, because we should be on a 4, but I don't know why it's doing it. Oh, I know why, because when I do y'all comments, it shifts on me. I forgot about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and give my shouts out, then we're gonna put ourselves in the frame. Because when I put us in the frame, it shifted. But I want to give the shout outs. I see everyone's in. Hey, Giselle, so glad that you're here. I can't see your face. You got to give StreamYard, of course, the permission, but I'm so glad you're here. I see Tips in the house.
Yeah,
others are going to be joining us, and we'll kind of welcome them in as they go. So we're going to go ahead and put ourselves in the frame. But again, thank you guys for sharing with us on tonight. Like I said, you all are going to be tremendously blessed on tonight. And so before we get started, again, I do want you to thank you for sharing with us. Normally, I would say drop your city, still drop your city and your state, wherever you are chiming in from. We thank God on last Monday, we had an awesome and a phenomenal time. Those girls was from Baton Rouge and ATL on last week. This time we got Houston, Dallas, New Orleans in the house. Thank God for these women of God that are going to be sharing. But before we move forward, I'm going to, first of all, introduce myself because I know there's some people that became a part of our group who do not know who I am. And so I just want to quickly state who I am. Geronda Marks, of course, known as Coach J. And that's because I love empowering individuals. I'm the CEO of URU and Associates LLC. I'm a woman of God. I love the Lord, and I am a transformational speaker and certified life and business coach, as well as an instructor and a trainer. And so for those of you that are podcasters, I do have a podcast as well, Daily Dose of Inspiration. I do want you to look us up. But my passion and my desire is for leaders, entrepreneurs, those who have a passion for writing, that are authors, as well as administrative professionals. That's my babies, administrative professionals. I love empowering and inspiring individuals who are in second chair leadership or support, part of a support staff for executive leadership. And so that's my life assignment. And God has given me this assignment to pour into others and to galvanize us together so that we can grow and get sharpened. So to develop, inspire, empower, and to stimulate our minds. And so I love being around influencers. And so these women are a part of my influence circle. May not talk all the time, but I tell you what, we got each other's back. I mean, we have been through a lot. We have supported each other, and I just thank God for them being present. So I want you to know who they are. Now, after I read their brief Bible, because we'll be here all day, because these women, like I said, they are influencers. But I want you to make sure that you look them up, because they are doing some major things in their community. empowering women and men. They are really just doing the thing. And let me give a shout out to all the brothers. I hope, because several, brothers thinking this is a woman's thing, but no, confidence is universal. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all the brothers that shall look at this or even come into our group. And so thank you all again for tuning in. So I want to get right to it. I thank God for this woman of God, Chantyle Jones, straight from the 504. That's my girl. Also DU. All right, DU is in the house. Okay, but anyway, she is my mother of 3 beautiful children, young adults, literally. She is an educator with over 20 years of experience in various capacities in education. Her and her husband, they both serve as pastors of the New Members Ministry at Beacon Lane International Baptist Cathedral there in New Orleans. She is the CEO of Hey Girly. And you know what, Real? I mean, Chantyle, this is you all the way, girly. That's what you always say. She have a business after Girl, Hey Girl Inc., which is a female mentoring program that provides mentoring and fashion techniques and etiquette and business networking opportunities. She is the creative mind of the Dressing Room at New Orleans. Y'all find her on Facebook. She's a fashion diva, of course. She uses fashion as a ministry to build faith and security in God's people, to build their self-esteem. She also loves just encouraging those that are lost, and she's just so inspirational, and I thank God for her. And like I said, I've been knowing Chantyle for well over about 24 probably years or so. We've served together in ministry, and she is my sister, whom I love. And I'm so happy to have you. Influencers. So come on, y'all better get I'm not going to move until I see a hand clap in the chat. I better see hand claps in the chat. I thank God for you, seriously, Chantyle, an example that you are and sharing with us. Then we have Sherelle Reed from Dallas, Texas, but she's the 504. I thought you knew her, and I thank God for her. She is a wife, a mother, an author, a life coach. She is your sister next door. To ministry to encourage and to empower other women. She is a corporate instructor and the founder of the nonprofit Find Your Resilience Inc. It's a movement empowering females to learn from their past, to live today and pursue purpose. She is an Amazon bestseller author in the anthology called Promise, a Global Women's Devotional, which is amazing. She is a co-author also in the anthologies. Y'all don't get me with that, okay? Because y'all know my tongue is twisted. Bling and I'm Speaking. Those are 2. And the author of her very own ebook series called Sister Sorry, The Power of the Interdependence of Women. And so I really appreciate her. Me and her go way back, singing in the choir and all that good stuff. And I have been blessed to be on one of her platforms and just honored that she would even choose us and select us. And so I'm so glad to have her as a part of my sister circle of influencers who are doing a great work. Appreciate you. Come on, let's give it up for Real, Dallas, Texas, in the house. Also, we have Kim Wells. That's my girl. Houston, Texas.
Hey.
She was down in the BR for a moment. You know, that New Orleans.
Yes.
And I really just appreciate her. Kim Wells is an innovator, a speaker, a life coach, the founder of Set the Trends Consultants, one of the fastest growing initiative building organizations in Texas. She has over 20 years of success in corporate and entrepreneurial and faith-based industries. She is known to her friends and strangers as a supporter, a motivator, an accountability partner, just to name a few. And she loves just giving back to others. She has such a passion for others. And I've had the opportunity, of course, to be on Kim's platform as well. And she has such a heart for women. And I just appreciate the gift that she is in my life. We worked in administration as executive assistants for years. We've just done so much together. And I'm just honored to have her here with us on tonight. She is a part of my sister circle of influencers. And I thank her for her. Come on, let's give it up for Kim. Let's give it up for Kim. And so I really thank God for these women. And I say this to say to you that are viewing and all of you that are present, you have to have a good circle. You got to have some sisters. And I ain't talking about the ones you go out to lunch all the time. That's good. You need those besties. But I'm talking about women, because sometimes it's not your closest friends that are business minded.
Yeah.
You know, that are kind of like just kind of visionaries. They really look to you as a visionary. But you need to make sure your circle, you have the right people around you to hold you accountable. And these women know that if I see them slacking or they come and they share something with me and they talk about, I don't know. Oh yeah, we know. Come on, let's go. I'm always like, let's go. I'm always in that type of mood. So I just thank God for that. And that's what you need. People like that, because it helps to build your confidence, because all of us have our own insecurities, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We all have our own insecurities. So as I tell everybody that come in contact with me, I'm here to pull you out of your cage of comfort, and then I'm on assignment to push and to point you towards your course of destiny. So I'm pulling you, I'm pushing you, and I'm pointing you, because there is a certain space, place, people you need to connect with.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is just pack your duffel bag. You know how mom pack your bag with lunch? Pack that little duffel bag with some confidence, because you're going to need it along the way, right? And so that's what we're going to talk about on tonight. So ladies, again, I'm so glad that you all are here. And so I want to start off, first of all, with this particular quote, because confidence is so very important, and I love reading various quotes. And I read this quote by Vincent van Gogh. Many of us know about the Van Gogh, the artist. I mean, he was a prominent artist, but this is what he said. He said, if you hear a voice within you say, you cannot paint, then by all means paint. And that voice will be silenced. I thought that was so powerful. So it's the voices within. He said, if you hear it and it tells you you cannot paint, he said, then by all means paint. And that voice will be silenced. And I want you all to speak to that. Did any of you hear, because like I said, I've read y'all accomplishments now, but did any of you hear that voice within that tried to hinder your forward progression? And then tell me, if you did, what did you say? What did it say? I want to know, what did it say? And then how did you handle that voice? Y'all better get ready. These girls gonna drop some nuggets. Y'all better be.
So let me just say this. I've heard it many times, right? Not just once. Sometimes it just repeats itself, right? And I can remember clearly the voice saying, no one's going to take you serious because of who you used to be. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, then that's fine with me, you know? And it was when the voice starts speaking, you want to make sure that it spoke to what you said about having the correct people around you, right? And so like we talk about other things to people, you should be able to talk about those things, right? The not so good stuff. And so it was when I spoke with a girlfriend, Tarkeisha Wallace. She's a author, a entrepreneur in her own right. And she said, oh no, you have to dig deeper because the voice in you is not greater than the voice above it, right? And that voice would be, for those that are on spiritual, for me, would be God. What did he tell you to do versus the voice that you're hearing from the inside?
That's
and
good.
So when she's like you, Geronda, and so she's, you know, you gonna do it, you know, and you need those type of people. Let me just say that you need those type of people who sometimes can see your purpose fulfilled before you do, right? And so then I began to dig deep and say, oh girl, you can do that. Now, when you gonna do it, I don't know. but you can do that, right? And you start talking to yourself and you start building yourself with words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And it may not happen tomorrow. So, and when the voice comes, does it mean that the voice won't come again? Absolutely not.
Right.
Because I am a visionary who don't always have strategy.
That's good.
So I'm always getting vision. God always gives me a vision. Sometimes he gives me vision before the assignment I'm currently in is complete. So I hear the voice repeat itself at times, but then I always hear his voice. I
Yeah.
have to always listen to his voice. And if you don't mind me sharing before my other two sisters jump in, when you asked about this, I always go to the word, and when I went to the word and I knew the scripture, but I did not know what scripture it was, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, right?
Mhm.
And so in Psalms 139 and 13, it says you created everything. He's talking about, we're talking about God created, right? Created every part of me. You knitted me together inside my mom's womb. I just said mom, but it say mother, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And then in 14, it says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful and I know them full well. So when the voice talks to you, when it talks to me, I have to hold on to what God has said about me.
Yes.
If he said that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, it ain't nothing that inside the enemy can say. Is nothing next door can say. I have to hold on to what God has told me. So I would just tell, those that are listening in, when the voice comes, it's going to come again. If you are progressing, you always on the move, you're always getting vision, it will come again.
Yeah.
And you have to just continue to denounce it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And in essence, confidence originates from God. Like first, you can't be hearing it out there. The testimonies, what does he say about you? That's good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So if I could jump in.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies, I just wanted to jump in because this is a voice that I hear quite frequently. And I know exactly what the voice says. The voice always says to me, who wants to hear what you have to say? And so when I hear that voice, because we all have our own insecurities or inadequacies, right? And so, I can't say for a split second, I don't go, yeah, who does want to hear what I have to say?
Real.
So we that are in Christ, as Tim said, that's where we get our instructions from. And I don't know what scripture it is, but the scripture says how God gives unto us gifts, and he gives it to us without repentance. Meaning that God is not sorry that he gifted you. And so we have to rise above what we feel in the physical and lean on who we are in the spirit, because we're not doing it in and of ourselves anyway. We're doing it in and of the strength of an almighty God. So when that voice comes, I have to denounce it, right? Casting down imaginations. The word talks about that, and so I have to say to myself who God says that I am and remind myself what God has called me to do. And in doing so, it builds me up and it edifies me, because confidence is a lifestyle. So we have to continuously edify ourselves so that when the doubts come, we can meet the doubt. But if I'm already weak, and then the doubt comes, and then the voice comes, then it's going to be harder for me to stand against it. And so at the end of everything, I do what Joyce Meyer says, and that's do it afraid.
Yeah.
Do it afraid. That's my favorite one.
Afraid.
Yes. Absolutely. I definitely, I ditto what both of my sisters said, but definitely I want to go back, and I go back, guys, as far as my childhood. So this voice has not, manifested when I was older. It manifested when I was younger. because of the things, I've experienced, abandonment, and, so every time I would get into a different frame, it comes again. And the older I get, every transitional phrase, every transitional phase of my life, there was that voice. And like Relly said, who wants to hear from you? And I always heard that I can't. Not so much from my inner being, it was from outsources. Like, I can't, I'm not good enough, I don't fit, I don't look a certain way, which brought about the insecurities within my own self. So I basically myself. And like I said, the older I got, the louder the voice gets. Even in my right now moments, it gets louder. Like Relly said, who wants to hear from you? Who wants to hear what it is that you have to say? You're not spiritual enough. You're not strong enough. And I'm at the point now in my life where I feel like you, Kim. I'm like, I can do all things. I am beautifully and wonderfully made. So I denounce, I cancel, I send it back to the pits of hell. And then I remind myself that what was, it is now, and it shall be. Who I am supposed to be, who I am destined to be, because God created me and he makes no mistakes. So once you understand and you begin to tell the enemy and look at the enemy in the face and you tell the enemy, listen, not today, not right now, because who I am is who I am supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you will see manifestations in your life. But don't ever think that we don't struggle with not being good enough, not being strong enough, not being powerful enough. I mean, just to get into a circle with this, and within my sisters right now, it was a struggle. It was just, and I'm like, I'm confident in this, but I knew that God was in it. And I knew, because the fact of the matter is, every time you do something, every time you're progressing, we know that the enemy is going to show up. And I said, confidence is not something I struggle with. Right. And I am confident with my friends and my sisters in the faith who's going to sharpen me if I do anything differently. Yeah, you guys, you sharpen me anyway. But I had to tell myself, I said, Chantyle, and myself say, huh? I said, you get yourself together and you go forth in the things of the Lord. But I'm telling you, it started from me like as a child, and it just progressed. And then it got louder and louder in just the acceptance phase, until adulthood, until I got into that real relationship in that space. And I said, what was is not going to be right now. And of course, it won't be in my future. So I denounced, cancel it out, sent it back to the pits of hell from which it came.
Oh, Lord. But one more thing, Jay, is that confidence' biggest enemy is comparison, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's his greatest enemy. And so for those that are confident, no matter how confident you are, you always are comparing yourself, your idea, your vision to someone else's, right? And it makes you feel like you are not qualified.
That's it.
Right. So when you recognize and you identify what it is, then you can attack that. And so, no, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm not in comparison with anyone but myself, right? And you start affirming yourself to what you know. So it doesn't matter if Coach Jay has 5 books and I still am writing my one from 5 years ago, right? Is when it comes, it's at that time that it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
And so being confident, it fights against comparison. And so you have to really, really know who you are and whose you are to keep you grounded.
That's it. That's absolutely
Y'all have said a mouthful.
Absolutely.
I love because all of you was on the same track. You gotta denounce it. It's coming. We already said that. I heard that. It's coming. It's gonna happen. I don't know how successful you are. It's going to happen, where those voices are going to try to make you feel insignificant and you have all these insecurities. I love what Kim said about the comparison. That's what God told me. He said, success threats. Those are success threats.
Yeah.
Comparison, competing, these internal conflicts, wars you have between each other, He said, when you realize that God puts us on earth for collaboration.
Yeah.
That's like the new currency. I heard
absolutely.
That's the new currency now. But you can't collaborate when you constantly comparing and competing, right? So if we really just let God deal with us, y'all, this is for healing. That's why I told God, I said, I don't want, I see too many women with a lot and men with a lot on the inside of them. Why are they not successful in the eyes of God? Because, you know, we don't attain or look at, you know, define success as the world.
Right.
And it's really because that's the key. Many feel I'm not good enough. Or here you on the road and you looking at your neighbor and you looking at their speed. Work with what you got.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and so you guys were so on it, but the key thing is the word.
Yeah.
You gotta have the word. You can't be self-help books. Self-help books, that's gonna run dry.
Yes.
But when you tap into that well, right?
Yes.
That never run dry, he gonna keep you confident. He gonna keep you knowing who you are, grounded.
That's right.
Because even when you think you have everything, you don't. You need it, right? And then he blesses us with people. That's what I was talking about last time. We got this this vertical, me and God, but this is what's messing you up. This horizontal, you can't get along with people.
That's it.
You lack confidence in yourself. So now there's jealousy and there's all this. So I say you are unique in your own way. So this is why I want to ask you ladies, because y'all been serving in ministry, because this is for my faith people. Because guess what? You know, you think that, oh, the warfare ends because you serve in ministry. The devil, you is the greatest target, even more so. So you all have served, like I said, I've been around you. I've seen your service. I still see your service in the Lord as leaders. And I want to ask you, how does your confidence, how does confidence impact you as a leader and a business owner and in ministry? Okay, I'm talking about your leadership, because you're telling me I need confidence. Well, yes, because people are watching you and they want to follow you. But why is it so impactful? Why is confidence so important when you are a leader or you are a business owner, or you're serving in ministry?
I'll jump in because first of all, confidence is contagious. Confidence is a magnet. And when you're not confident, or when you don't stand or operate in confidence, then those who are looking or those that are following, they can tell that. And it does something, it causes a disconnect there. And I'm so glad that you mentioned, Geronda, that our confidence is in God. So we start there and we build our confidence because of who we are and who he says that we are. And so it's important that we stand confident. It doesn't mean that we're without flaw. It doesn't mean that we do everything right. It doesn't mean that we're not going to mess up, repent, and mess up again, right? We're human. But we have to be confident in who we are, or we have to be strong in the gifts and the capabilities that God has given unto us in order for someone to trust. That's what it is that we have to say, to trust. Where it is that we say we're going. So it all begins with confidence of self, and then confidence in God for the journey ahead and those that is our way.
Yes, I definitely agree with that trust and the respect, because you know how people always mention, you know, I trust the God in you. It's something that they can see. You know, it's just the light that shines. And like you said, you can't be leading a team. I think about me every day in the school system. I think about businesses, and it's just like they send me out there, go and talk to the people. But it's just like you said, the confidence that you have in your community, the confidence that you have in your students, the confidence that you have in the leadership, that just makes it magnetic. But it's the trust and it's the confidence that brings about the respect that people develop, even in the business realm, even in the ministry realm. Your integrity speaks volume if they trust you, but they're not really trusting you. They're trusting the God in you.
That's good.
I love that.
And confidence is not only contagious, but it's attractive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a
Confidence is attractive, you know? Just Sunday, I was looking at our church online, and afterwards I had to message the praise and worship, two of the leaders, right? And I said, whatever Jesus you serving, I want some of that, because it's attractive.
Yeah.
Confidence in leadership is attractive. When you're confident, people want to know what you're doing. It's not necessarily putting on red bottoms.
Right.
It's not necessarily packing around a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci and having on the finest clothes. It's what's on the inside. And when the inside comes out, that's what I'm attracted to, because I can buy materialistic things.
That's right.
Yeah.
But when I'm attracted to your confidence, something in me says, maybe I can do that.
Yeah.
That's why we're continuing to be who we are created to be, because we have people coming behind us. If your confidence is not attractive, we need to kind of go back to the drawing board. And what makes that attractive is me believing in myself. Right? It's me knowing that one day I'm going to get that accomplished, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
It's me believing that I can when I don't have the resources to do it. It is attractive, right? And when it's attractive, it becomes contagious.
And if I can add something to that, Geronda, also, that's why authenticity is key as well. Because that goes right with the confidence. Because if I'm not in confidence in my authenticity, then I'm really not confident. Right? Because I can't be confident in being Chantyle. I'm not Chantyle. I'm not Kim. I'm not Geronda. I'm Sherelle. So my confidence comes from me being authentic and being okay that I am who I am, the way I am. And I can still get it done.
That's right.
That's liberating. That's liberation.
That's it.
When you can be who God called you to be and not what other people want you to be. However you talk is the way you talk. And guess what? It's going to attract the right people, the ones assigned to you. And that's the thing, being confident in knowing that God has begun a good work. The good work in you. He's going to complete it. So we don't have to rush. God, who's making us beautiful. That out. I love what Kim said, because it ain't about all that exterior.
It's not.
Because guess what? When I get this on the inside, right?
It's just
then it just a magnet.
And confidence is not about a look. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It is not a look. We get that thing twisted. It is not a look. Because I can be cute all day. Big Kim, little Kim, long hair Kim, short hair Kim. All of that I can be. Listen, y'all know I'm real petty. But
come on,
confidence is not a look, ladies. If y'all don't hear nothing else tonight, it is a lifestyle.
Kim, you got to tell the brothers too, because they be GQ.
And brothers. Yeah, y'all too. Y'all too.
Yeah, y'all too. Because we do have a brother on here, several brothers that are on, and and I'm gonna go through some of the chats. I the things and comments. I mean, they are saying, "Lord have mercy." Somebody say, "Woo, child." Confidence is not a look; it's a lifestyle. Somebody said that nugget. That was good. Someone else said, "They said it's knowing the knower in my knower."
That's good.
Okay.
My God confidence. It's a knowing. That's Mary. Mary says it's a knower in my knower.
It's a knower.
I love it. I love it. And someone else said exactly. God's sheep know his voice all along. He's speaking to us, and so that's so important. And y'all said several things, like you said, it's about the knowing. It's about knowing God. So what's your secret? Like, what do you do? What's your habit? Because y'all, it's so key that we understand success happens because we have habits, routines, things that we have put in motion that we're doing daily as disciplines, right? So I want to know, what's your secret? How do you keep your confidence? And not only that, in times when you don't feel confident, you still walk outside your door. And people be like, dang, you so confident. You be like, oh Lord, it must be God.
So I'll jump in right there. My secret is basically, I want to say, helping others. Um, I get true deliverance because even in the midst of it, like you say, you walk outside and people like, you're so confident, and you're like, really? And then it's always a tool that you kind of operate on to be able to assist others. So for me, my secret is just realizing that I'm in a space that I am right now that I wasn't before. But then most importantly, that somebody else is on this journey with me. So I get strength and I get confident, even more confidence when someone is going through, and then we're able to share our stories and tell individuals exactly where we are and what exactly that God is doing through and in us. So my biggest confidence is I kid you not, just being able to share with others, to assist others. I find strength in that. I don't know why. When I go through things, as you will go through, not that you're going to stay there, but when you go through and you find yourself in the midst of a storm, always be in a spot where God can use you, because where you're empty, He's filling you. So that, I mean, you'll be amazed at the amount of people that just gravitate to you. You can be passing Kim, you can pass Sherelle, you can pass Geronda, you pass along, and somebody's like, I'm just drawing strength from you.
Yeah.
You don't even know that you're helping people just because the glory of God is resting, upon your life. So just avail yourself to help and to be there for people and individuals when they are going through. So that's the secret for me. Just being able to be replenished by God as I'm assisting his people as they're empty.
That's good.
And for me, when I think about what my secret is, I am a firm believer of words and affirmations.
Yes.
So I talked a little bit earlier about being able to edify yourself and build yourself up. So I get in front of that mirror and I have to remind myself of who God says I am. I have to remind myself, that I'm the head and not the tail, and that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, that I'm going to get it done. And through prayer, I'm always saying, God, whatever opportunity is for me today, I pray that I meet that opportunity and that I'm up for the challenge. So I believe words create your atmosphere. So for me, because we've already talked about insecurities and inadequacies, we all have them based on our life's experiences. But there's got to be something that we're intentionally doing that will build us up and have us ready for whatever comes our way, that it won't totally knock us off course. And if you think, the last thing I want to say, if you think about a bank account, you can't make a withdrawal where you haven't made a deposit. So with those affirmations, with consistent edification of myself, I'm depositing. So when my low moment comes, so when that voice is in my head, then I can make the withdrawal to stand in the face of whatever adversity I'm faced with. So I'm good. I'm big on words. So I have to remind myself of who I am and whose I am.
That's good.
Yeah, my secret is really just three-part. I really try to stay in tune with God, of course. That's always number one. And I think that goes for all of us here. But the other two things is I always try to remain humble and not ever get above myself and believe that I'm doing this in my own might.
Right.
So I practice that. I really have to speak to myself, girl, this is not about you. This not about you. When I'm doing my Madam CEO lunches, this is nothing about this is about you. Right. This is about these women and the purpose and what you're here to do. And then the other secret of me remaining confident is the company I keep. And so I have two special girlfriends, Alicia and Tia, who I'm always going to. And I say the company I keep, I surround myself in some circles with people that are smarter than I am.
Yes.
You got to, right? And so I consider them in certain areas of what I do to have a better knowing about things than I do, because some of their line of work lines up with it, correct? And so I try to remain confident in knowing that I'm surrounding myself with not only godly women, but women who have a better knowledge in certain things that I do, right?
Yes.
If I'm the only one making these decisions and stuff, y'all gonna keep getting the same thing, you know. It's not gonna go any further. I told Coach Jay today, yeah, when we get off the call, you're gonna have to show me how to do all this fancy stuff, tickers and all this running across your screen. You have to, just surround yourself with people who can help you go to the next level. And so my confidence is built around having the right people around me.
That's good. So I hope y'all capturing this, and they're commenting, they're listening, they're soaking things up. I love what Chantyle said, giving of yourself to others. Givers never go without. We always say that. So making sure that you don't become selfish because you in your moment of insecurity, still hungry, So giving. And then I love what Sherelle said, affirmations. You got to be speaking to yourself, encouraging yourself. So every day you need to have I am statements. I am going to succeed. I am going to be number one. I am going to whatever. But you have to make sure you have these things in place, because if you don't, you're just going to be like a roller coaster, right? I love what Kim said, that circle of support, being around people that know more than you. It's so important that you realize that you can't grow if everybody is a C level in your circle. You're trying to be impossible. So you have to now in this season rethink the way you've been doing things if you're not seeing the results that you desire to see in your life. Realizing the importance of having the right support system. So that's some good stuff. So,
and Coach Jay, can I say this to what Sis said, Rel said about the affirmations? Y'all, it's not arrogance.
Right.
It's confidence. We really need to know the difference. She's not bragging on herself. She's just saying who she is. And so arrogance is, I'm all of that and this is me and this, but I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm talking to the inner me. I am confirming what he's already said about me until I can believe it, right? And so let's not mix confidence with arrogance.
Hey, that's so good. I got that, huh? It's not arrogance now, baby. Get it right. Confidence. But in essence, what we're saying to you guys is, and this is something I shared in the boot camp, that it's 10% skill, 90% mindset.
That's good.
10% skill. It ain't about your skill necessarily, because they have people, they ain't got them skills, babe, but they just as confident. They don't shift their mindset. They ready for the thing, right? Nobody can call them, out their name or label them, because their mindset has shifted. So in essence, what we're telling you, these ladies are saying that your mindset shifts when you listen to what God says about you. If we're creating his likeness, image, and we have dominion, and he said it, then you have to speak to the things that don't align. Your past, failures, all that. You got to speak to it so it can align, because it's not about your skills. You can get all the degrees. I ain't telling you not to go to school. We got people all these degrees. But it's not about your skill. People are zooming past you because you're trying to get all the degrees and your mindset still ain't in the right place.
Ma'am.
That you can make 6 and 7 figure, that you can be on those platforms. You can do this, right?
Yes.
So your mindset got to be right. So these ladies are sharing with you some things you got to do to shift your mindset. If I was selfish, like when Chantyle says, I wouldn't be giving to people. No, but I understand my mindset got to shift, because God's a giver. He gives of himself even when he's not in the most comfortable space, right? So it's so important. Okay, y'all, we'll be in here all night. All night, because y'all are lighting my fire. I feel like running. But this is the question I have. What advice would you give someone out here that's listening Anyone that not even in our group, because God's gonna allow this to bless others. What advice would you give someone out there that keeps starting and stopping? Starting and stopping because of fear or anxiety or these insecurities, low self-esteem, or feeling intimidated because they got people around them and they're like feeling like, man, I don't fit in, right? So what advice would you give a person that just start a thing, but they don't finish? They stop because of all these this negativity.
So I'm gonna say this. You have to first, before anything, identify what your purpose is. Don't just be doing stuff, right?
That's good.
Because guess what?
Yes.
Doing stuff because someone else is doing it. You want to make a shirt because Sherelle have 3 shirts. Right. You gotta know what your purpose is.
Yeah.
That's good.
Then you have to ask God, please help me cultivate this. You can't do it without him. No matter what the degrees, the money, you can't, you gotta have him to do it and be successful. Success is not the money. Success is the impact.
Yes.
It is the impact that you're making on the lives.
Yeah.
My sister down here, Chantyle may not make $1 million, but we believe God that she will. But if she changes the life of a woman because she dressed her, she just made it, right? So know your purpose and then ask God to cultivate that. And I know it sounds like a broken record. Get with some people who will help you build.
Yes.
Who will push you to your destiny. People that are not drilling holes in your boat. And it may take you a second. It may take you a second to figure out who they are, because everybody close to you is not a vision builder. They are not a vision supporter. It's life. It's what it is. But you get those people who are just excited about what he's doing with you, even though it's not them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you begin to start a thing and start moving forward and not stopping.
Yeah.
But Jay, you might stop a few times before you get there because it's a process.
Yes.
You didn't just start eating steak overnight.
That's
you began eating hamburger meat, and you went up and you put a little gravy on it. Then you put it on the pit, and you know all it is baby steps.
That's
so
right.
Please don't think it's gonna happen overnight. I'm still growing,
Yeah.
and I've been doing this for a little minute, and I'm still learning stuff. Right?
Absolutely.
So
I love that. I'm not even going to expound much on that because what you said was a mouthful. I was about to take a lap myself and come back, but I didn't want,
sis, don't leave me, sis.
I promise you I was going to go and just come back around, but I'm going to go ahead on. That's why I'm sitting like this. But I mean, just to piggyback seriously, it's the small victory. We stop and we start. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. I would stop and then I would start because I want to see all the way down the line what I'm saying. And then I'm not actually going my course. So God dealt with me and he says, if you take small victories, that's hope for you. I am hope for you. So if you do this, if you just say the small victories, you say, okay, I can do this. And then you go on, and before you know it, you have reached your goal. But to celebrate the small wins that you get while you're building, the small victories is what's going to matter. That's what matters most.
That's great. And I'm kind of right in alignment with my sisters here. First of all, if you find yourself starting and stopping, I would just say, even though you stop, you can start again.
Yeah.
You can start as many times as you need to.
Yes.
Sometimes what I will add to what they're saying, the Bible talks about like who builds a house and don't sit down first to make sure that they have sufficient to finish it. It takes strategy. Like Kim said, have some people around you that can maybe hold your hand through some of the processes, not just, okay, I'm called for this and it's just, I can just walk out and do it perfectly the first, you have to put some things in place. And I was going to say just what Chantyle said, oftentimes we're looking at the finish line. And we know what God has called us to do, we know where we're headed, but we kind of just glance at the process to get there. But I would say know where you're going, but put a lot of time and effort to the journey to get from present to purpose. And it'll be easier for you to start again. And this time you might last a little longer.
Yeah.
Again, start again. And you will get to your end process. But definitely have a plan, have a strategy, surround yourself with people.
That's right.
And Jay,
you there.
Go ahead.
30 seconds. Don't be jealous of the next person.
Yeah.
That's gonna make you stop 3,000 times.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. Don't be jealous of the next person. Work your gift.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other thing is it's gonna take discipline.
Yeah.
It's gonna take late nights. It's gonna take early mornings. It's gonna take strategy. When you tired, you gotta find some type of burning desire to keep pushing, you know. Purpose and being confident in what you're doing, it takes a little extra. It's not for the ordinary people.
That's right.
Y'all hear me out there. It's not for ordinary people. Confidence, to be confident, you got to make sure that you stepping out and being the best that you can be, but it's not going to come being jealous.
And you have to be intentional about it.
Intentional.
You gotta grasp the nuggets that
really
out there.
Coach Jay, you remember when we were on vacation? We wasn't on vacation, we were working. And you told me that I was gonna do the conference. I told you I wanted to do the conference, and I said, but I can't see it. And Geronda came back again. When you gonna start? Text messages. She good with all these text messages because you can't talk back. You see what I'm saying? And when you gonna start it? And she stayed on me until I did the first one.
Yep.
Like, y'all, it's not the friends that you talk to every day.
It's not.
And the thing is, we've been going from glory to glory. Faith we got bigger and bigger and bigger. And if it wasn't the pandemic, but guess what? It's not if it wasn't it's going to be even greater.
That's right.
Because you saw it. And God is always, when he said, yes, never despise the day of small beginnings.
Small beginnings, yeah.
And I love what Sherelle said, and I just heard God say this, the jewel is in the journey.
Yeah.
The jewel, meaning, baby, you talking about that over there, the finish. No, that ain't the blessing. The prosperity is in the journey, in the process. And when and that's the part you brag about. Realize that, oh yeah, God was gonna give me the end product, but it's what He made me on the journey.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you have to understand, that it's a process. And Kim, you triggered something this thought, and then we closing, because I got a closing little statement I want to ask you guys.
I thought we had 2 more hours.
We're gonna have to have what? A talkathon.
I think we might be talk about the distractions now. We have the distractions along the way.
But Kim said something that triggered something. This particular statement, y'all. It said 80% of people are fearful of fear, like they're the fear of failing. 80% people have the fear of failing, and that's why they don't succeed. So as I thought about that, 80% people out here, billions of people,
my goodness,
they are paralyzed by fear, and that's why they haven't stepped out and done nothing. But there's 20%. See, when Kim said about it's not for the ordinary, it's not for the faint of heart. It's the 20%. It's that 2% of, like, if you got 10 people in a room, 8 of them ain't going.
That's right.
They ain't gonna try it. But there's 2 of y'all. I said, Lord, all I need is a paddle. If they give me a boat, they ain't gotta give me a boat. I'm swimming. I'm going for it. You want it. And that's why that's the distinction between the successful and the non-successful. So do you want to be in the 80% or you want to be 20%?
Right.
You want to be the 2 out of 8 or you want to be the 8 in the 8?
My
Because
goodness.
a seed is no good in your hand until it's planted.
That's it.
Yeah. And
You gotta
cultivate it.
So you have to bust a move, and then like you say, it's not for the faint of heart. If you got 80 out there doing the norm, don't you think the enemy attacking the 20%?
That's right.
Even harder, because I ain't gotta worry about them. So when you're starting a business, when you're leading out front, y'all, just know you gotta gird yourself up. And you gotta be ready for it. Because like you said, there are times when you don't feel like it, but what keeps you is because you're thinking about other people. It ain't about me. It's about somebody need their deliverance. I'm over here complaining because I got a headache. All that. So you got to take all of that into consideration when you say you want to go and you want him to use you, right? And he's going to equip you. So this is my final statement, you guys. If it wasn't for blank, I know y'all gonna all say God. Now God already. If it wasn't for blank, I would not have made it this far. Now, it could be a person, it could be a situation, or whatever. If it wasn't for blank, I would not have made it this far.
If it wasn't for my parents and not only what they told me, but what they showed me. They showed me what it was like not to give up. They showed me what it was like to want more. Coming from Mississippi, red dirt roads, segregation. My mom was the first Black girl at her high school and showed me what it meant to keep pursuing and to keep going. And my dad breaking barriers at his jobs, right? That if it wasn't for that, God is a given, but I had an example. And I used to feel bad for talking about it because others didn't have that example. But I'm grateful because I look at them and it keeps me going. Even with my dad's passing, I still hold on to the nuggets, right?
Right.
But the one thing, and that's what I've seen, but the one thing that I've heard, my mom told me this after Katrina when I came back, I couldn't find a job. She said, you can see up to the corner, but God can see around it. And so I trust him to take me everywhere I go. I trust him when I can't see it. And so my parents.
That's a blessing.
My parents.
That's good.
That's
and
good.
For me, I would say my adversity. Because I didn't grow up in a home with my parents, so I don't have the testimony that Kim has. But at the same token, it was my adversity that taught me the lessons that didn't shackle me from purpose, but pushed me towards purpose. So I used my adversity. I wouldn't be who I was if it was not for the adversity that I had in my life as a young girl and things of that nature. And now I'm able to be the parents to my 3 kids, like Kim's parents. So I can now speak to other women who've gone through adversities to let them know it did not disqualify you. However, it did qualify you for where it is that God is taking you. In short, my adversity. I wouldn't.
That's good, Real.
That's good.
Well, thank you, Well. Thank you for that. We're on the same page because that's the first thing that I thought about. I thought about the things that I've gone through in life caused me to be the individual who I am today, and I am forever grateful for the struggles. From watching my mother struggle and going through it without a father until I was 36 years old when I met my real father. And so just to be able to go through the things, the struggles, as a teenager, and trials, and, home to home to home, and just to see God's glory right now, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because I am that parent who I am today, who I longed for when I thought about it, when I was, in my early 20s, and I wanted that the parents that Kim had. And when she described them, I was just like, that was the parents that I wanted. And that's the goal that I strive to be at right now in my life. So even from parenting to, how I treat people, just to encourage people, I know what it feels like. I learned obedience from the things that I've suffered. So I take my adversities and I count it all joy, that it was He who made me right now in this moment, that I can stand in pure joy. I'm happy, but right now I have the joy. I'm talking joy unspeakable, full of glory, joy. The joy that I have, the world can't give it to me. The world can't take it away. I mean it. I'm serious. It's
I feel it. I feel the fire.
So I'm telling you, I'm better because He made me better. I'm great in Him. I'm greater is He than is in me, than he that's in the world. And I thank Him for it. So I wouldn't trade nothing, really. I'm with you, and I thank God for to my sister Kim's parents, because her parents was the parents that I longed for. And it's the parents that, I believe that God has called my husband and I to do right now, nuggets that they can take away that bring them on the journeys that they experience. So, even for you, I received that. On that end, Coach J.
And Veronica, if I could just say to someone out there, that journey of adversity is necessary.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Your journey is necessary for where you're going.
It is.
Come on, Fantasia.
Necessary.
Okay, now you know she was a director of the choir, baby.
Y'all know I'm petty. Y'all know I'm petty.
I love it. It's so funny because every time I see Kim, I say, okay, come on, Petty Betty, because she called herself Petty. I love it, but it's always a lesson in it. It's always a lesson.
Like you said, authenticity. If you can't be the people that you can't be yourself, don't hang around them if you can't be yourself. And so I really just thank God for you guys. Just so much in the chat. People are inquiring about you guys. And like I said, y'all are gifts to the body of Christ. And I dare not. If I got some fire in me, I'm going to keep the fire lit in y'all. Y'all not quitting, because there's so much more work to be done. And so again, I thank you guys for sharing. So I want you all to take this opportunity and share with us, if you have anything that's going on. Of course, I'm gonna drop your emails, your website, so people can know how to reach you should they desire to reach you. But if there's anything that's happening, let them know, because like I say, that the adversity has made you all who you are. And y'all are experts at what you do because of the experience and what you've gone through. Okay. So I'll start with you, Kim. Kim, share with us, of course, I read Kim's bio. And I'm going to put up here the her web address. But Kim, if there's anything, Kim, I love her luncheons, the Madam. She'll talk about that. Should she have one coming up? But I love just Kim's heart and her passion for empowering women. And so if you want to reach out to Kim, I have her website, Flo. And Kim, if there's anything, last thought, something you wanted to share with them.
It's just, no, we were having I changed the luncheon to a conference because I kept hearing that. And we were going to do it virtually. And after sending out a survey, most of the women wanted to do face-to-face. And now the Delta variant has come. So we will be resuming next year. The next thing that I'll be having is a prayer breakfast for my birthday in light of my birthday, which is going to be around the beginning of January sometime. So just be looking for that. And I am going to put my Cash App in the group, and the first person who requests $50 will receive $50. That's to whatever confident person out there. I just want to sow into somebody else. And keep pushing, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, keep doing what you're doing. God has not forgotten you, and you are right where you're supposed to be. So I'm going to throw my Cash App out there. The first person I get a request from, I will sow into them. tonight. And thanks, Coach Jay, for having me on, for being such a blessing to the body of Christ. Silent mentors, y'all. Silent mentors. People you don't talk to every day, people who don't speak into your life every day, but you're learning and you're growing. See, mentorship is people you can learn and grow from.
Yeah.
Not people that you talk to.
Yeah.
You get it twisted. And so I have grown so much just by watching you. By watching you. Your worship and your work go hand in hand. And so I appreciate you. Thank you.
So true.
Love you, girl.
True.
All right. So if you want to share with us if you have anything that's happening, of course, like I introduced Sherelle earlier. Of course, she has the organization Find Your Resilience. So that's her website up there. If you need to reach out to her, she will be a blessing to you. Go ahead, Rev. There's something you want to share?
Well, I, as Kim, ladies love to get together, right? We love to get dressed up and do things. And so we thought that we would resume our annual luncheon called Sister I Got You Covered this year, but we are going to forego as well until next year. But what we're doing for the rest of the year is outreach. So at the end of the month, 28, we're going out and we're feeding the homeless and bringing some school supplies to those. We're making some care packages, some snack packs to the kids in the center and things of that nature, and some toiletry bags. So we're looking for opportunities of outreach. And so if anyone would like to donate to that cause, we are 501c3 nonprofit organization. You can go to resilience.org and give a donation. I too, because I follow my leaders, Kim. So I too am going to offer the first person that gives a donation to Find Your Resilience, I am going to send you a Find Your Resilience t-shirt. So make sure that your email will be there, and I'll email you for your size, and I will mail you out a Find Your Resilience t-shirt. And also,
where I send it to.
And also, you guys can also follow me at Sherelle A. Reed.com, because also I'm dropping my podcast called The Blooming Effect.
I love that. Stretch.
Yes.
Us out of that comfort zone. Praise the Lord. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank God as well for Chantyle being here. And as I stated, she's the CEO of Hey Girly Inc. Also a fashion diva. If y'all looking for the right fit, y'all better look her up. She's on Facebook. Actually, I'm gonna put that with her TikTok. And so you can find her at the Dressing Room New Orleans. And so I'm going to go ahead and share about what you guys know.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you. Shout out to you, Coach Jay, of course, being a big sister and just always pouring into our lives and sharpen us, keeping us sharpened. And that is important. Of course, you can find me every Sunday on the Dressing Room at New Orleans. It's an online thrifting boutique, one of a kind items for the fraction of the cost. So you can look really good for all of your interviews and the new things that God is going to do through and in you. So you can follow us on Facebook as well as Instagram at the Dressing Room New Orleans every Sunday live at 5 p.m. We are there. Also, we're starting a new podcast entitled Doing It God's Way or the Highway. So definitely, Doing It God's Way or the Highway. You can definitely look out for us, follow my pages, and we'll definitely, and keep you informed of that. Also, we're doing something different. It's not catered to the girls this year. It is catered to our young boys, all the seniors and freshmen in college. We are doing a botillion. As we normally would do.
I love that.
We are doing a botillion from boys to men. So we want you to be encouraged. If you know a senior right now, tag them. We would love to have them a part. We are doing 21 because 21, guys, is where you reach your manhood. We want you to be equipped and ready to be all that God has you to be when you have your own families, when you have your businesses, and so forth and so on. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I love you, Kim. I love you, Relly. And I guess I got to do it too, man. We just, it's a trickling effect, and that's just That's just who we are. You know, we don't do this just because somebody else is doing it. It's always one is led by the Spirit, and we just follow. So I'm going to do that same thing. The first person that cash apps me at $ Chantyle A. Jones, I will send you $50 as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop these little cash apps. Let me go ahead and drop it.
I had 5 people to send it, and you know, I just sent it out to the first person who sent me. So
yeah, so I'm waiting. It's there.
What's yours, Chantyle?
Chantyle A. Jones, CHANT, like my name, Chantyle.
Y'all better beat me. Beat me.
Chantyle A. Jones. Chantyle A. Jones, the letter A in the middle. Yes.
Okay, Chantyle, $ Chantyle A. Jones. I'm about to release it. You ready?
Release it. Let's go.
I released it now into the atmosphere.
Release it. Let's go.
I really appreciate you guys, because that's what it's all about, y'all. Giving, and not just monetarily, you all. Just remember that giving is not just, this isn't your time, your treasure, your talent, your give, whatever you have. It's not always $1 for an hour. You know, come on, God is the rewarder. He's the one that's going to give you more. And I really thank God for all of you. Just, you know, ladies, just being led of the Spirit of God. And so me as well, you know, I might as well go ahead and follow the trend. Yes, this is the trend. That's a ministry. Even with financial consultant, things like that, she'll get you out of debt. She'll help you out now. She'll give you some little nuggets now. But no, I thank God for you, Kim. And so, of course, we're gonna do that too. I'm gonna drop mine. I'm gonna drop mine. I'm gonna drop mine after this broadcast. But I do want to thank God for all of you that's sharing. Y'all have really stayed with us the entire time. I appreciate it. I'm going to go back and look at all your comments and try to comment. And if there's anything that question you may have asked that we overlooked, that's going to be our opportunity to really delve a little bit further. So I do want to remind you guys that this is not the end. This is where we get information. But it's so important that now we implement what we hear. And oftentimes we're like, oh, I need a strategy. But you know, people put stuff out there, but you don't even embrace it. You know, so I'm doing the boot camp after these talks because I don't just want you to have information. I want you to have implementation. On Thursday, it's free. Just come into the room and let's talk about this whole notion of confidence. And then, like I stated, you know, this may help you, of course, get on track. You know, there's some principles, some habits, some routines and things that we're talking about that you have to make sure you shift in order for you to see it. And this is a time for us to see it. So I want you guys to join us in the boot camp on this Thursday. If you're available, I'm not putting it in a group. Reason being because people are sharing their private ideas. People are sharing their, you know, what is hindering them. And they don't all out in the public, and the enemy still got, you know, out there capturing stuff that they're dealing with. So it's done on Zoom. The information is at confidencemademeddoit.com. I'm gonna put the website. So, you know, that way you can register if you haven't registered, but many of you already get the Zoom information anyway, because you are registered just simply by you being in the group. Okay. And so, let me drop that information just so you have. So if you know anyone, I'm tired of talking to people and they've been saying stuff. Makes me antsy. And then I get to the point where I say, put up or shut up. Talking. Like, you know, so we want to encourage many of you to be a part of our boot camp. Okay, on this Thursday at 7. If you know anyone that needs to be there, tell them, show up. Okay, show up. So we're excited. Thank you, ladies. On next Monday, we are excited about our guest on next Monday. Remember, every Monday, this is where we are at 7. And so on next Monday, we're gonna have some awesome women of God. One of them from Canada, my sister from Canada. I got another sister, of course, they're from New Orleans and in the Houma area. And I just thank God for them being able to share with us. And so we're gonna close out next Monday. So I want you to encourage people to be a part of the group, because we're dropping nuggets. You know, and that's why I tell you guys also, you're welcome to drop encouraging messages or something that's going to help people stay confident. Okay, so it's not about me, it's about us, and like it's about we.
Right.
Okay? So remember that. So next Monday, and y'all will see the graphic, and so I'm gonna put that out there. We're gonna share it, and so we're gonna just expect God to do from glory to glory, faith to faith. All right.
Yes.
This has been beautiful. Thank you all again for tuning in. I see all of your comments there. Thanking you, ladies, how much of a blessing y'all have been. I don't want to rush past this. Let me just let y'all know that y'all labor in the Lord is not in vain. This was phenomenal. Another one say, I've already been blessed. Oh, someone says sorry. I don't know what that was. I must have read that one wrong. Bless you all. Truly I'm blessed. Was blessed by this. This blessed me indeed, and all that good stuff. So that, you know, y'all, our labor is never in vain. Never in vain. So y'all have a blessed night. This is Coach Jay, and I look forward to you guys sharing with us on this Thursday at 7 p.m. for boot camp, then next Monday. But I'll be dropping in the chat as well. Okay. So in the group. So you guys have a blessed one. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.